Hi, my name's Charlie. I'm the chaplain with Harbor Light Hospice of Indianapolis, and this is a celebration of being alive online. We're all locked down because of coronavirus right now, and I can't come to see you personally, but I'm happy to be able to come to you through this medium to tell you that you have something to celebrate because you are alive. If you're alive today, you have the best gift you can give to anyone. You can give the gift of your love, and you can receive love. Today I'd like to talk to you about the best things in life. You know, the best things in life are not things at all, but they are the people in our lives that love us and that we love. This is a celebration of being alive. You know, when I was a young man and my children were little, we had a stereo that our children loved and used all the time. It had a CD player, and they used to use it to listen to their books on tape. They would listen to The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast and Peter Pan. They'd follow along in their books while a reader read it to them, and it was wonderful for them and for us. Well, one day that CD player broke, and my wife and I talked about it. We decided we had to get that CD player replaced. So I went down to Digital Heaven, Best Buy. I went down there to pick out a new CD player. And when I got there, I went right to the back of the store where I knew all of the big audio was, the CD players, the boom boxes. And I went up to a man in a blue shirt and I said to him, "I'm here to buy a new CD player." And he said, "I just have one right for you. I just have the right one for you, and it's on sale." So he took me to the very end of the aisle and showed me the best CD player I have ever seen. It was big. It was beautiful. It had all kinds of colors and chrome trim. It had flashing lights that didn't do anything. They were just there to hypnotize you, so you'd buy it. And the sound on that CD player was just amazing. When he turned up that dynamic boost, that bass sound came out, and it blew my hair, which I had at that time, straight back. And I immediately said, "This is it. This is the one I want. This is the CD player I want to take home with me. How much is it?" He said, "Well, it's on sale." I said, "Great. How much is it?" And he turned over the tag, and when I saw how much it was, I was so disappointed because that CD player was way over the budget that we had set for this purchase. So we had to go down the aisle to the more moderately priced CD players, and I was able to pick out one that did the job, that had a good CD, good sound, moderately priced that we could afford. And I picked that box up and carried it with me down to the front of Best Buy. While I was waiting in the checkout aisle, I heard one of those big carts roll up behind me. You could hear them. They almost shook the ground as they rolled across the store. And I turned around and looked, and there was a man about my age, and he had my CD player on that cart. And I was so jealous. And I turned back, and God and I had a silent conversation, and I said to the Lord, "Lord, why don't I get the good CD player? I'm ordained. I serve you. I make all kinds of sacrifices. Why do I have to get this cheap little CD player, and that man back there gets the nice one?" Well, I turned back to him and I said to him, "Wow, that's a really great CD player." And he said, "You know, it is." He said, "It's a Christmas gift for my son." He said, "This was the one he wanted, and it was a little expensive, but I thought, you know, I better get it for him." And the way he said those words, "I better get it for him," struck me. And I immediately thought, what kind of a child must this be? What kind of a spoiled child makes his father buy a very expensive stereo that he probably can't afford just because that's the one he wants? He must be some kind of spoiled brat. Well, while I was thinking that, I heard a child's voice behind me. That child said, "Dad, Dad, can I get this too? We can play it on the stereo." And I turned around and looked, and there was a young boy holding up a CD he wanted his dad to buy. And I looked at that boy, and there was something about him. He was so skinny. He was wearing a pair of jeans, and his belt was buckled tight, and those jeans were so loose, and his shirt was hanging off of his body, and his jacket was loose, and his skin was pale, and he had a baseball cap on, and under that cap, there was no hair. This boy did not have hair anywhere on his body, and I immediately realized that boy was a cancer patient on chemotherapy. And then I understood what that father meant when he said, "I better get that stereo for him." He meant, I better get it for him in case this is his last Christmas with us. I better get it for him in case this is the last gift I ever get to give him. Well, I purchased my stereo and took it out to the car, put it in the trunk, and I got in and I started to drive home, and on the way home, God and I had a conversation. And I apologized to God for all the times when I thought he wasn't taking good care of me. I apologized for all the times when I thought he did not give me what I deserved. And I remember saying out loud as I drove home that day, "Oh Lord, I thank you that I get to go home with my cheap stereo to my healthy children." When I got home that day, I didn't take the stereo in the house right away. I just went in looking for my kids, and they ran out, and I picked them up and I hugged them, and we fell on the floor and we rolled around, and I was hugging them and kissing them, and my son was crying out, "Dad, Dad, where's the stereo? Where's the stereo?" And I said, "Don't worry, son, I have the stereo." But I said, "I've got something better. I've got you, and you're healthy. And you are the things in my life that make me happy." That's really true, you know. If you're alive today, there's something you need to understand. It's not things that make our lives worth living. It's the people in our lives. Our children and grandchildren, our parents, our brothers and sisters, our friends. If you have lots of people in your life that you love and who love you, then you are truly blessed. And if you don't, go out and make some friends and experience the sheer joy of loving other people. That's how you can celebrate being alive. I'm Charlie, the chaplain from Harbor Light Hospice. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.